Tombstone, Arizona, a place whose very name evokes ideas of the Old West, is frequently idealized as an exciting place to visit because of its name. On the other hand, hidden beneath its illustrious past is a somber and dreary reality. This village, notorious for its anarchy, violence, and premature deaths, was very different from the lovely image depicted in popular culture. The most notorious town in the American Old West was Tombstone, and here are some of the most horrifying facts about it. Number 10. Gunfights and violent outbursts. Tombstone was a lawless hotbed, so gunfights and violent outbursts were all too regular. The gunfight that took place at the OK Corral in 1881 became the most famous of these confrontations. During this fatal encounter, the Earp brothers and Doc Holliday faced off against a group of outlaws, which ultimately resulted in 3 deaths on each side of the conflict. The gunfight served as a metaphor for the anarchy and pervasive danger that permeated the area. Number 9. The Bloody Birdcage Theater. The Birdcage Theater in Tombstone was not your normal theater. Instead, it was a bar, a brothel, and a gaming hall that was noted for its boisterous environment. Inside its walls, violent altercations and killings were an everyday occurrence. The Birdcage Theater developed a grim reputation as one of the deadliest places in Tombstone due to the more than 26 deaths recorded on its premises. Number 8. The practice of vigilante justice. Because Tombstone did not have an efficient legal system, the practice of vigilante justice became the standard there. In a town marked by lawlessness and limited resources, the residents often felt compelled to take matters into their own hands in order to maintain a semblance of order. Vigilante organizations emerged as a response to this void, assuming the roles of judge, jury, and executioner. Fueled by a sense of desperation and the need for swift action, these groups often operated outside the boundaries of the law. Lynching, a particularly brutal form of punishment, was not uncommon. Accusations alone were sometimes enough to condemn a person, regardless of guilt or innocence. The practice of vigilante justice highlighted the volatile nature of Tombstone society, where survival often hinged on the ability to navigate treacherous moral and ethical waters. While some argue that vigilante justice was a necessary evil in the absence of an effective legal system, the consequences were often severe. Innocent lives were undoubtedly lost, and the notion of justice became distorted. The pursuit of vengeance sometimes overshadowed the pursuit of truth, leading to a cycle of violence and retaliation that perpetuated the very lawlessness the vigilantes sought to eradicate. Number 7. The Massacre of Chinese People. Tombstone, Arizona, was home to a sizable Chinese community, most of whom worked in the mining and labor industries. In spite of this, ethnic tensions and discrimination continued to exist, which eventually resulted in the horrific Chinese Massacre of 1881. An irate mob consisting of miners and other town inhabitants invaded Chinatown, leading to the deaths of at least 4 Chinese residents and the forcible exile of a large number of others. Number 6. Wyatt Earp's Vendetta Ride. Following the gunfight at the OK Corral, tensions in Tombstone increased, which led to Wyatt Earp's Vendetta Ride as the climax of the conflict. Earp and his posse went after the individuals who they believed were guilty of the deaths of his brothers. This led to other deaths and contributed to the town's reputation as a lawless place. Number 5. The dangerous mines of Tombstone. Tombstone's economic success depended on its mining industry's success, but the mines were dangerous places to work. Numerous miners lost their lives as a result of the frequent cave-ins and accidents that occurred in the mines. In addition to this, mine owners often disregarded safety standards and engaged in labor practices that exploited workers, both of which contributed to the tragic history of the town. Number 4. The tragedy of Doc Holliday's death. Doc Holliday was a well-known gambler and gunman in Tombstone. He was also a significant character in the town. He was a tragic figure who suffered from tuberculosis, despite the fact that he had a reputation as a proficient shooter. Holliday's health quickly deteriorated, and he passed away at the young age of 36, adding yet another layer of tragedy to the annals of the town's history. Number 3. The Tombstone Epitaph. The Tombstone Epitaph, a local newspaper that bore witness to the town's turbulent and often bloody history, played a significant role in chronicling the events that unfolded in Tombstone, Arizona. with headlines that vividly detailed shootings, homicides, and various forms of illicit activity. The newspaper painted a stark and sometimes disturbing portrayal of life during the town's heyday. Founded during Tombstone's boom years, the Tombstone Epitaph was more than a simple publication. It was a window into the heart of the town's daily life, offering a snapshot of the trials, triumphs, and tragedies that shaped the community. Through its pages, the newspaper captured the essence of Tombstone, unfiltered and unvarnished. The headlines that graced the front pages of the Tombstone Epitaph were a reflection of the challenges that the town faced. Shootings and homicides, often stemming from disputes and conflicts that were endemic to the Old West, were a recurring theme. The newspaper's pages provided a chilling reminder of the violent and lawless environment that characterized Tombstone during its prime. By documenting these events in such graphic detail, the Tombstone Epitaph recorded history and offered a glimpse into the psyche of the town's residents. Number 2. The Great Fire of 1882. The Great Fire of 1882 stands as one of the most devastating events in the tumultuous history of Tombstone, Arizona. This catastrophic blaze, which erupted in May, forever altered the town's landscape, leaving its wake a trail of destruction and despair. Tombstone, already grappling with its fair share of challenges, was ill-prepared to face the fury of the flames that would soon consume its wooden structures. The town, situated in the arid landscape of the American West, had sprung up in the midst of the mining boom, drawing residents and businesses eager to capitalize on the region's mineral wealth. However, the predominantly wooden architecture that characterized Tombstone proved to be a fatal vulnerability when disaster struck. As the flames engulfed building after building, the relentless fire rapidly spread through the town. Wooden structures, dried out by the arid climate and years of sun exposure, became kindling for the inferno. Panic and chaos ensued, as residents and business owners desperately tried to salvage what they could and escape the advancing blaze. The fire's path of destruction was indiscriminate, sparing neither homes nor businesses. Structures that had been central to the daily life of Tombstone were reduced to smoldering ruins. The fire's destructive force compounded the town's struggles, amplifying its vulnerability and uncertainty. The loss of property, livelihoods, and memories was a staggering blow to the community, further eroding the already fragile optimism that had sustained the residents. Number 1. Hauntings and ghostly legends. Given the amount of bloodshed, heartache, and loss of life throughout Tombstone's history, the town is said to be haunted by the souls of those who live there. The town's status as a hub for paranormal activity has been further enhanced by the reports of uncanny encounters and inexplicable events made by tourists and residents. Tombstone's history is full of fascinating and infamous incidents, but one that stands out above the others is the shootout at the OK Corral. This bloody gunfight, which involved legendary individuals from the American Old West, etched the name of the town into the annals of history for all time. This battle, which took place in 1881, exemplified the lawlessness and brutality that were defining characteristics of Tombstone. Despite its well-known status, the significance of the gunfight at the OK Corral is still up for discussion among historians. Others consider it as a symbol of the anarchy and bloodshed that characterized the Wild West, while others see it as a turning moment that marked the end of the lawless era. The location of the OK Corral is still a famous tourist destination in the modern day, as it gives tourists the opportunity to put themselves in the shoes of the great figures who were present there and experience the legacy firsthand. What do you think of the video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.